consciousness and good heart, it's inconceivable that anyone would want to harm their fellow man that way. But coming to the recognition that perhaps there are some folks who do, and for what reason I have no clue, then you have to somehow enjoin. You have to somehow decide that it is touching your life and in a big way. Ways that I have noticed and been able to sort of track through myself and friends and family and clients is a sort of a premature aging, and that affects every body part. Hair loss, all kinds of things, joint pains. And as I go along on the discovery, I'm beginning to understand that more and more of what we associate with aging and ill health can be directly related back to this system, this very kind of compound, complex mix that's coming into us, all of them taking tolls on in one way or another. If you are working, and I do suggest that you do, work with an enlightened practitioner, it's very important that they understand that we have a new paradigm, health paradigm that we're working with now, and they need to become educated about all of the things coming into us. And if you go to Mr. Carnicom's website, I did post a paper there, a very extensive paper about my own personal journey through this, and in there's some suggestions. Please, not on your own, but work with an enlightened practitioner. You're welcome to take any of that information to him or her to help you and yours achieve optimum health. Just a few final comments. Everybody says to me, well, okay, what do I do? Well, I think the first thing you do is what you're doing right now, is becoming aware, educating yourself, becoming conscious, because knowledge is always the beginning. And then after that, follow your soul, follow your spirit, go and meditate, do whatever it is that you need to do, because everybody can contribute something positive to these times. So you'll have to find what your journey is and what your contribution could be. I would only say to you, to do nothing it would be sad, because every contribution means something. And I would also say it's hard not to get angry. It's hard not to come right back at it with anger and hatred, and they should, whatever, and all that stuff. But in my opinion, that it's that energy that got us where we are right now, and that even though this is so difficult to approach this way, to me it seems the only way, which is with love and compassion and kindness and all the light side energy, because in the end it's the most powerful, and I think can offset. The same person that came to me said so much of what's going on is vibrational, and if you look at Mr. Carnicom Clifford's website, you'll see a lot about frequencies. And we know that anger and hatred and judgment all carry a very dense negative frequency, whereas love, light, compassion carries a different frequency. So that in and of itself is good medicine. As I go along through this process with myself and my friends and my clients, I will continue to update whatever observations I have about the nature and potential mitigating natural remedies that you can consider. As I said, please work with a professional healthcare practitioner. And in closing here, really, I just want to say, anybody watching this, bless you. Bless you for being conscious, and bless you for caring. And I know Mr. Carnicom Clifford has a few closing thoughts.
Yeah, I just want to thank you very much, Gwen, and I hope we get the chance to meet again soon on this, and I suspect it might be helpful to have just more of a dialogue maybe the next time, but it's helpful to get some of the, really just introductory. We're just trying to raise the issue on this. And one comment that with respect to this test that Gwen described with the wine, unfortunately this is not an anomaly. This does not appear to be something that is extremely unusual. It's unusual what is being seen, but this is not something restricted to a single individual. what has happened thus far in the tests that she has described, this is very real that we're speaking of, and this is why we're presenting this in a video. This is real, this is physical. And thus far, there have been 18 people, is our latest count, right? 18 people. We could essentially call this a random sample from across the country. Numerous states now have conducted this very same test. And I'm not a doctor at all, and I don't claim to be a doctor in any way. And I'm not offering a cure. In fact, we don't know 1/10, 1/100th of what is going on. But we do know that there is a specific physical test that has been established. Gwen is the one that discovered this. And thus far, on essentially a random sample of 18 people across the country, every single one of them is producing the same physical forms, which I must declare, the best that I can, as being a pathogenic form. These are not meant to be in the human body, what is being seen here. I'm not going to swear that every single person across the country and in the general population has this, but certainly statistically we're way beyond any norm. So I would like the audience to become involved to the point where they are aware that this is a physical manifestation which appears as though it may be affecting the general population, not something that we shove off to being a few folks like they treated lepers in the past. I also want to let it be known how the CDC has responded to this issue. And if we're counting on the federal government and the federal agencies to give us the scoop and the lowdown on this issue, we've got a very serious problem. Because if you look at the CDC's history here, they have been anywhere from completely ignoring the issue. They've taken several tactics, several along the way, and they change according to what appears to be appropriate for them at the time. One is complete refusal and denial to even acknowledge the subject. The next stage they got into was one of labeling the condition as delusional. They put it up on their website that this is a delusion, falling right in line, again, with a tactic that was used. Then there appeared to have been pressure applied to that agency, and they removed the delusional reference and acknowledged that such a thing might exist in some form, but we don't know anything about it, that we're going to do a study, but nothing happened. This was on for at least a year and a half. They declared an intent, nothing happens. It then evolves to the point where there's a press club, a national press club, where there's an acknowledgement of the issue. And what do they do there? They say that we're going to study this. There's no sufficient funds established for a study. The study is confined to a specific group of people with a specific health organization, Kaiser Health Organization, a very specific test. And who's the main scientific, let's say, arbitrator of this? The Armed Forces Institute of Pathology. Okay? This is who is supposedly evaluating the reality of this condition will be the military. So, and now we're at the point where there supposedly will be some information released a year and a half on this specific group of people. So if we're counting on the CDC or the general press to help us circulate information, there's obviously a problem. This is one of the reasons that Gwen and I are together here. On my side, there is a call for an appeal for assistance for positive identification. A lot of my work is specific, under the microscope. It's not something that's nebulous. There are very specific forms that are repeatedly showing up now, and they need positive identification, not a maybe, not might be. We need positive microbiological description, identification of what's there. And if it's a little bit beyond the ordinary, we need to know that as well. And my hope is that we're able to meet again, Gwen, and maybe just in a more conversational mode, go over some of the things that we're finding.
And what I would want to say is, please, 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 this isn't something you let somebody else take care of. If you do not become involved, if you look back through human history, and when there was a big problem afoot, and the people turned away, now we condemn them and say, well, why didn't they do something? Well, we've got another big problem here. And it may, and I hope I'm not overstating, but I think the health and survival of all human beings is truly at stake here. And so we can't afford to say, well, I'm busy today, or I got family problems, or, oh, that's scary, I don't want to get involved. You really, it's a soul call out.
I don't think